If you're like me, you've got contacts in every single possible format: email, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And it's becoming harder and harder to stay on top of them. To help me make sense of this mess, I use Smarter Contacts, the free app that automatically creates rich profiles for all my contacts right on my smartphone. The thing I love most about this app are the rich profiles it creates. I can see photos, job titles, company details, and updates from social networks all in one place, all in context. This is a free app and available on all mobile platforms. Head to www.untether.tv/smarter to download it today. Hello everybody and welcome to Untether.tv. I'm your host and founder, Rob Woodbridge. I'm going to remind you what we do here. Probably driven into your head so many times that you know this by now, but this is the place you come to hear the stories about these great mobile entrepreneurs, the guys who are creating things that you don't even know that you need at this point. So it's really about driving understanding of the impact that mobile is having on the way we buy, the way that we shop, the way that we do our research, the way that we live and interact with other human beings. And it's a pretty impressive list of entrepreneurs that have been up on the site. So if you haven't been in a while, go back and check the back catalog, would you? On Tether.tv. Yeah, I'm fiercely and proudly Canadian, and you know that by now, of course. And I'm so happy to be featuring another Canadian company. This is a company called Presley. I've got Jeff Brenner, the co-founder of New Layer, which is the makers of Presley, and it's actually now Presley is a product at Presley.com. And what Presley does is really simply is create beautiful, interactive environments through the mobile web for publishers. And they've just announced a self-publishing tool that they're going to be releasing. A self-publishing tool. We're going to talk about everything that we can in a very short period of time. We're going to talk about Jeff's background, what he's doing here, how he got here. We're going to talk about Presley and the niche that they're getting involved in, and why they're engaged in this place, and why they're building these products. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the future, where this is going, how they're going to make money, so on and so forth. So Jeff, man, thanks for doing this. Really appreciate it. Go Canada.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
So this is it's an interesting spot. Toronto has become a hub of mobile activity. Clearly, it is a mobile center. I would say, one of the top spots in the world for mobile activity. But you see that as well when you're in Toronto?
Absolutely. There's a lot of really cool things happening, a lot of really smart people, and I think that's what's driving it. Obviously, having schools like Waterloo and U of T and McMaster all within, a short drive to Toronto. These are really, world-renowned schools, especially for their software and computer science programs. Yeah. So I think it makes a lot of sense. You have these really smart people going to school, and more than ever, people are always looking at starting their own thing and going the startup route. So Toronto's definitely the biggest market, and it's kind of the place to go if you're Canadian and you're looking at, at least if you're on the eastern side of Canada and you're looking to run your own startup, you'd go to Toronto to start it up.
Yeah, I'm in Ottawa, so we've got a burgeoning startup community, but it just seems that I've certainly spent a lot of time with Toronto companies in the mobile space. Talk about Presley, just before we go any further. Talk about what Presley is. Just give your elevator pitch.
Yeah, sure. So at its core, Presley's a HTML5 publishing platform that enables publishers of all sizes to make beautiful experiences around their content on touch devices.
So it's HTML5, right?
Yeah. Yes. So that's a good distinction. We decided to go with web technologies for several reasons. One being that we've noticed with especially tablet users, there's a lot of people going to the web to get the content as opposed to siloed native app stores. So we wanted to be able to enable publishers to deliver that native app-like experience that's fully immersive, that's swipeable, that just delivers on the promise that is the iPad of these great new content experiences. But we wanted to allow them to do it through the web and on any platform, right? So you can still put a Presley experience in the App Store. We have these native wrappers, but I think the main use for Pressly is delivering these experiences over the web. And, if you've used a Pressly publication like The Star or like what we did with The Economist, you noticed that it's a lot more representative of print, especially when it comes to advertising. So, you can deliver those full screen interstitial experiences that doesn't take away from the user experience. You swipe on, you swipe off, a lot like a magazine. And much like magazines, you're able to create better experiences around that, more engaging things, right? So, you have magazines like Vanity Fair, which is primarily advertising. It's kind of almost a selling feature of the product. That it's these beautiful ads, and that's what we want to bring. We want to have it so publishers have a way to monetize their content in a better manner than the typical banner ads and little pop-up ads. And that users, there's more value in the advertising brought to the user as well. And then all this is in a great immersive experience.
So, what's your background? I mean, do you come from the print space? Do you come from the digital advertising space?
It's a good question. So, publishing is really new to us. It's so both myself and our co-founder Peter Kiltika, we grew up around software. We've both been on computers since we can remember. We met actually at school at McMaster University in the software engineering and management program. And, we really just clicked on a couple things in terms of wanting to make just incredible software that people want to use. That was always kind of our driving force. And, neither of us felt like we, were going to be able to do that by going to work for another company. We wanted to do our own thing. We wanted to we had a lot of confidence and a lot of excitement around it. So, short story is, really passionate about software experiences. And then the publishing route really just came about, with New Layer. We started a consulting company. We've had a bunch of different publishers come to us in the past, like Score Mobile and Score TV. As well as the Toronto Star, and we just noticed that the publishing space is kind of at that inflection point where technology is going to really be able to bring some great things to the table for them. And I think publishers are really great at storytelling and setting the agenda and finding that content, but it's hard for them to also be a technology company, because technology is a moving target, and you need to be focused on that. So we're happy to come together with them and really create some great solutions.
I gotta ask. I mean, was there anything about the mobile space? Did it matter what industry you were in or what layer you were doing this in? Was the appeal always mobile when you were in school and you graduated?
Well, I think when we graduated, the iPhone had just come out. In fact, I think we were the first two people in Canada to actually get the iPhone. We drove down to Buffalo. We got these hardware unlocks. So the mobile space was really interesting.
We're talking about the first iPhone.
The first iPhone, yeah, the first generation iPhone. We had it we'd bring it out and people would kind of be like, "Is that an iPhone?" It's not in Canada yet, but so the iPhone was just blew us away in terms of it was from the future at the time. It was something completely revolutionary. And then when the tablet came out, there's so many green fields we felt to get on that, and we kind of missed the boat a little bit on the iPhone because we were doing custom consulting work. It's really tough to build your own product when you're building products for other people. So we felt, the tablets here, we don't see it going anywhere. As soon as it came out, we're like, this is going to make a huge impact. Let's not miss this opportunity again. Let's do something in the tablet space, and we kind of went full force on it.
There's lots to talk about there, because you were doing custom application development for the iPhone. Is that where you guys really started with New Layer?
Even before that, it was primarily web development. So building, web applications for companies that helps run their business. So whether it was a time tracking system or CMS or whatever it may be, we actually built a kids MMOG game. We kind of took it on whatever it was. We were just, we were cowboys ready to just, bring the project to us and we'll do a great job at it. But then was really once the Score came to us, and gave us the opportunity to work on their iPhone app, which we've since released. You know, it's a top app in the store. It's got amazing reviews. We really put a lot into that and a lot of passion. So that's kind of our showpiece within New Lair, the Score mobile iPhone app.
Yep.
And you know, then we were approached by the Toronto Star about building an app and for the tablet. And before we jumped on that, we said, you know what, we're actually getting into the space. You know, we're going to build a product that makes it easy for publishers, and the key part is easy to deliver these great experiences. So we'd love to get an understanding of what you need, and then we'll make sure Presley meets that.
So obviously the tablet market, very disruptive to a lot of media. And I mean, what was it? Was it just because you kept on getting a number of people coming to you saying, listen, this is our challenge? Or was it an observation in the industry that you looked at and said, you know, this is where we really do want to focus. We as people, we see there's an opportunity. The companies that we're looking at are going to need this in the future. Was it a perfect convergence?
Yeah,
like that?
exactly. It was a great convergence. It's a tough engineering solution, so it's like those are things that really make us excited, and our whole team at New Lair, you know, we love taking on really tough engineering problems. In fact, that may be one of our downfalls, right? You know, it's we're not looking for the easy win. We're looking for things that are going to change and disrupt things. So it was a perfect blend of, you know, it's this great engineering problem, and then there's this real need for it, right? How do publishers make these great content experiences? You know, obviously things like Flipboard, they had a lot of influence on us in terms of, you know, they had something like 3.5 million downloads and 500 million swipes a month. Mm-hmm. They're doing something right. And just using it, it's like, this is a better way to consume content. And we felt we could take that even further. So it was, you know, and it's an exciting space. I mean, media is really important. It's still run by, you know, very influential companies. But even, you know, as we mentioned, it's for publishers of all sizes, Presley. So looking also at the bloggers and, you know, the smaller media companies out there, it's just a fun problem to tackle.
Before we jump into anything around what you did with what you're doing with the Star, I'm really interested. You said something there about an engineering challenge.
Right.
And it might be the downfall. How important is that from an engineering standpoint? Like, you look at the problem and you say, like, nobody's really solved this issue.
Right.
That's what inspires, and is that what drives you guys to create something like Presley?
That is definitely a big part of it. It's
why is that engineers want to? Yeah, I mean, there's an easy route, right? You could build apps for people, which, you know, you guys could do probably with your eyes closed, like you did with the Score. But why the challenge? Like, what is it about it? Is it just you want to create something that nobody else has done?
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like Apple. You know, you take on these things, and you know, you push the limits of the devices and the technology, and then hopefully at the end of the day you have something that's really special, and that kind of blows people away. You know, I think when we were invited to TechCrunch Disrupt in San Francisco, and when we were on stage and we were showing people our 360 panorama that we had made within the browser, yeah, just people's reaction, like, wow, that's I've never seen that before. That's really cool. You know, that feels good. It's like it's definitely a big part of it, getting that recognition from peers and even amongst ourselves. Like, let's build some amazing stuff. And you know, that's what drives us today. I mean, you know, we have Presley. We see so many things that we can be doing better with it, and we're working on it all the time to, you know, keep pushing forward on the experience and the technology.
All right. So you obviously identify the need. You realize that this is a challenge. It's a hurdle. It's an engineering riddle, if you would say. So you want to go out and build that. What was the transition like for you guys moving from a services-based company into this product? You said that there's always a challenge. I've heard this many times. It seems like it's the standard way of doing things. You work, you build apps for other people until you find a niche that really excites you and challenges you, and then you try to transition over to product. What were the challenges that you guys are facing doing that?
I mean, first, it's always been a goal of ours to create products. You know, our first foray into that was CrowdReel, which is crowdreel.com. So that was a couple years ago. That was bringing every photo uploaded to Twitter in real time. I mean, I'll say, if it wasn't for partners like Score Media, who we, pretty much is our only consulting, only consulting client right now with New Layer, it wouldn't have been possible. It was great that we had this, source of work with them that was really engaging and really rewarding, that allowed us to plan and start building up another team within New Layer called Presley that was able to start building on our own product and not worry about things like cash flow right at the start, billings, all that sort of stuff. So the challenge, I think, is with consulting, you're used to every hour needs to be billed out to a client. That's how you're going to cover your costs. It's how you're going to make money. It's how you're going to push forward. And it's really that mind shift of we're investing in Presley. So with New Layer, we took any profit we were making and invested in building up a great team within Presley. And it's still like that today. I mean, Presley's making money. We have some really great clients that we're really proud of. But we still have that incredible New Layer team that's pushing forward with the score and their products that allows us to have not yet go out and get funding for Presley.
And that's key.
And it's key. Well, it allows for a lot of flexibility. We haven't gone out and had the pressure of let's say a VC company coming in and saying you need to be tripling your clients, you need to be doing this. We've been able to focus on the product, and I think that over the next couple of weeks, some of the stuff we're